University. I'm also the director of Agri-Food Innovation Center in Strathmore. The work that I'm coming to represent today is on pastoralism, which was a nice idea of not only focus on farmers, but also try to look also on the pastoralists and how they can be supported in terms of access to markets and increasing their productivity. So we have a program on Africa Pastoral Market Development, which can talk much later. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kristen Peterson and I'm the Sprout Platform Lead. And for those of you who aren't up to date with Sprout, Sprout believes that every farmer should have in the palm of their hands the kind of services and information, personalized services and information that they need to make decisions that end up with better outcomes for their farm. And so we're building an ecosystem of content and service organizations, as well as farmer-facing organizations, and our platform hosts open content and customized services to deliver that information via farmer-facing organizations to farmers and engage them to build up their capabilities. Thank you.
Good afternoon, I think. I'm Tamasken. I'm leading the Digital Agriculture Program in Ethiopian Agricultural Transformation Institute. We are working, our department is working in identifying, introducing digital solutions for supporting the agriculture sector, specifically the advisory service, but generally we are trying just to introduce different digital solutions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kelechi Jonabuku. I am the Communications and Project Lead for Koamana. Koamana is a SaaS company whose value proposition is strengthening market linkages, and we do that using data-driven solutions.
Thank you. My name is Abraham Andreas. I'm from Ethiopia. I'm from an agtech company called Lersha. It's promoting a one-stop digital solution to smallholder farmers in Ethiopia by providing a bundled service of input mechanization, agroclimate advisory, and access to finance. We're very happy to be here.
Okay. My name is Penina Wanja. I'm the founder. My name is Penina Wanja. I'm the founder of DigiCow, and in DigiCow we provide advisory services to the farmers while digitizing their records and providing them with real-time reports. We're also digitizing the work of the vets, and this is enabling us to get a lot of data that is supporting how livestock sector is done in Kenya.
Good afternoon. My name is Calvin Sokelo, founder of M-Shamba. We offer ready market for farmers, but also support digital extension services.
Thank you guys very much. I would like to pose the first question to you, Tamasken, where we've heard from the different farmers and other panelists as well that there are different challenges that come with providing digital agriculture advisory service to smallholder farmers. And overcoming these kind of challenges requires a holistic approach where you need to bundle services, engage with various stakeholders, and so on and so forth. So as a public sector entity where you're working on, how have you tried to address these challenges and made sure that the service you're providing is both innovative and sustainable, considering the challenge that you're facing and the geography that you're working on?
Thank you, Farhana. I think the challenge you have mentioned are very valid. And from our side and from my perspective, in order to introduce a digital solutions and in order to actually make it beneficial for smallholder farmers, first we have to understand the context. As you indicated, we have to understand the context of that specific areas. For example, the level of connectivity, the level of infrastructure, the level of digital literacy, even the culture and all other things. This will help us to design feasible solutions and relevant content and also very relevant content which can help them to address their specific challenge. So understanding their context is the first thing. And the next thing is, based on that context, we need to introduce a feasible solutions. For example, if we take our example, we were able to introduce a hotline back 10 years ago with a feature phone, and it picked up a lot. Currently, we have about 7 million users who are accessed about 65 million calls in wide varieties of crops and other livestock and other contents. So understand the code is the first thing. And the second thing is we need to leverage the existing structure, the existing resource, specifically the government resource, which means in our context, we have a huge public extension service, but we build on what we have. We have about 6,000 extension workers. We have a good mechanism for generating a content, extension service, content at the federal level. And these 60,000 extension workers are responsible to just bring the content to farmers. So we leverage that, and we added one platform for supporting the existing extension service. And the other thing is government should also give intentional support for these services, just to make it very, reachable. For example, Ethio Telecom, which is a development wing of the government, has allowed farmers to access the content for free, which also helps us to get or to reach or to make it reachable, the content to farmers. The other thing is collaboration and coordination is very important. We have been working with different development partners. Elias is here. He has been leading this. He just started from scratch and from bottom up, and we were able to collaborate with different partners, development partners like Mercy Corps Ethiopia, Mercy Corps AgriFin, Digital Green, Precision Development, private sectors, system developers, and all others. So this is the other thing. Collaboration and capacity, the local capacity, the local staff, the local expertise is also very important. We need to transfer the knowledge to our local in order to make it very sustainable. When we build a linkage and coordination, we need to have a strategies, a roadmap. As probably you heard yesterday, and this morning from Henry, we introduced a digital agriculture and extension and advisory service roadmap, which have about 30 interventions. And in the process of developing this intervention, we engage different development partners, private sectors like Lersha and Hello Tractor and others. So, the collaboration and linkage, coordination, building the local context, building or strengthening the private sectors is very important.
Thank you very much, Tamaskan. Understanding the context of the farmers and building feasible solutions for them, leveraging the existing infrastructure that's already in place, and also collaboration and capacity building is something that you've mentioned, which is a very important one. I would like to pose the same question to the private sectors, Kwamana, DG Cow, Calvin's, Abraham, and also Kristen, on how have the services that how have your organization implemented digital advisory service to ensure they're both innovative and sustainable, and how is the service that you're providing different from the public institution services?
Good afternoon once again. Like I said, I'm Kelechi from Kwamana. So at Kwamana, what we try to do first and foremost is integrate with the communities. We try to make sure that we become part and parcel of the community. That way they know that we're in for the long haul. So we try to support them in any way that we can, giving them digital advisory services, connecting them to markets. In some situations, we also connect them to vendors that can give them discounted inputs, improved seeds. So essentially, what we try to do is we become part of parcel of them, so that whatever innovation, whatever digital technology that we supply to them is in for the long haul. So our advisory is shared using SMS, USSD. We also try to have town halls, trainings in these communities so that we're able to speak to them, get actionable feedback from them, to be able to improve the information that we give to them, to make sure that what they benefit from us, they understand that it can be accessed on different levels. So we engage with the community leaders. We have extension agents in these communities that also have access to this information. These people are walked through this information so that when people in the communities reach out to them to be able to ask them questions about it, they're also able to provide the information to them. So we've seen that this method has yielded sustainability and also helped in improving the incomes of these communities so far. Also, sorry to shamelessly plug in, some of our farmers are going to be here in Safari Park on Thursday. So please feel free, come in, talk to them, and actually see the work that we've done, and also see how you can partner with these communities to be able to implement your solutions as well.
Thank you, Farhana. I think regarding the innovation and sustainability of the model, Lersha is trying to implement a combination of this digital agriculture advisory service by implementing a phygital model. Phygital to mean, we always try to be very careful when you talk about digital technology, because after all, the customers are these smallholder farmers in a rural area, very challenged by connectivity, phone ownership, and also literacy level. So the generation of a content itself is an issue. And as Lersha, we partner with different institutions, public and implementation alliances. And for example, for agroclimate advisory and fertilizer recommendation, we work with the International Wheat and Maize Improvement Center and with Alliance Biodiversity, where the dissemination is through a mobile application. And again, the mobile application is designed for our Lersha agent. These are a digitally enabled use from rural area, and these are the son and daughter of farmers from the rural community. Digital innovation requires trust, so that farmers are using this information for a decision making. And I think that is one part of the innovation model. And then Mandela was earlier talking about productivity. And also we want to take it one more step. That's improvement of income at a farmer level. I think that made us sustainable. And the advisory is always an initiation of demand toward this input, mechanization, or access to finance. So we promote a one-stop digital solution, and the model that we follow is a bundling model, where we don't charge farmer for the advisory, rather the business model earn a commission model from the usage of either input, mechanization, or agroclimate advisory.
Okay. What DigiCow has done is to be very innovative when we are designing our products. And in this, we take into consideration the end users, who are mainly the farmers. And when we are delivering the extension services, we become very mindful of the social norms. And this has created a sense of belonging by the farmers, trusting us more. When we are providing the extension, we do not just do it. We use data, and we provide information just when the farmer needs it. Providing information is not just enough. There are some farmers who need a bit more of assistance, and that is why we have trainers like Hillary, who actually sits with the farmers and enables them to consume the information, implement, and get actual adoption and impact. And when we are working with these trainers, they are able to aggregate demand from the farmers, and eventually they grow themselves to the level of becoming input distributors. Lastly, we work with multiple partners, and so we have made it an effort to understand our partners, their pain points, and the value they will find in the different areas within our digital technology, and this has enabled them to actually make actual purchases, making our company sustainable. There was a second part where, how are we different from the public sector? We are different, one, because maybe we are young, but we are very agile. Second is we use a lot of data, and because we are leveraging on digital platform, we are able to reach so many people within a short time, get real-time report, and we make informed decisions. Thank you.
Yes, in addition to what my colleagues in the private sector have mentioned, at Mshamba, we have an interesting way also of ensuring that our solution is sustainable. First, our model is centered around farmer common interest groups, which are comprised of the smallholder farmers. And we also ensure that in the leadership or the organizational development of those groups, women are also, at the center of leadership and decision making. But apart from the multi-channel solutions that we offer to our farmers, we have voice, we have a call center, we have SMS, USSD. These are usually, we look at them as more as incentives.
The other question I would like to pose is for the private sectors. I would like to learn a bit more on, including Tamaskan as well, on how this digital advisory service has positively impacted the farmers that you're working with. And how do you provide this, can you provide us some examples of the impacts that have been created?
Okay. So before I start, how familiar are we with Nigeria? No? Does anyone know Kano, Nigeria? Okay, great. So last month, me and my team were in Kano, and we had the opportunity to meet the people that had been receiving our advisory services. And there's one person that stood out to me. Her name is Hajia Ramatu. Funny enough, we barely understood each other because I mostly speak English and she speaks Hausa, but there was someone to translate our conversation. And in that conversation, she told me about how last year, because of the floods in Nigeria, she could not deliver her goods down south. So in transit, the goods spoiled, and because of that, she lost a huge portion of her capital. But after that, she started working with Koamana, and one of the things we do is trade financing as well as advisory services. So imagine a situation where you've lost your capital, and that was as a result of the floods. And now you've been able to access a service that gives you weather advisory that tells you in advance it's going to rain, it's going to be sunny, to enable you to plan your logistics. And in that conversation, she told me that in the last year of her being a part of Amana Market, she's been able to improve her income by 60%, which for me is amazing because most of the time I don't get to interact with these people directly because I'm more of an office person, so these stories always make me feel better about my job. So this person is just one out of 40,000 users that have subscribed for very specific advisory services, so crop, weather, also advisory around inputs as well. And the beautiful thing about people like this is once they actually see the impact of what you're offering, they become your advocates. So right now, we're testing out a model in Kano to do lease to hire for solar irrigation pumps. And this lady has essentially brought her entire community because she has seen the benefit. So hopefully next year by this time, I would have so much more stories for you because the impact that we have been able to make on the lives of these people by using the advisory services, by using the other products that we provide to these people is immense, and it's wonderful to see.
Okay. Yeah, from our side, as I indicated before, we have a hotline which have about 6.5 million unique users who have been accessing the system daily, 7/24. So we have been doing different assessments with different international development partners and others. And what we have been hearing from the farmers is farmers are tending to rely more on our advisory service than even the extension workers because sometimes, to some extent, they may not have extension workers in their area. Because of that, this is a good opportunity for them to access the advisory service. And on other case, the expertise, the knowledge they get, the advice they get from the extension worker, the hotline is better than the extension workers. And because of that, they are improving their productivity and production. And this is one of the witnesses we have received from our farmers. And the other thing is we have also a national market information system. For this, we also did the assessment, and 70% of the users have indicated that they are improving their income because of the market information they have been receiving from our platform, 70%. For that, in that platform, we have also about 1.5 million users. And about 70% said they are improving their income. 75% of the users are saying, the information they received from the platform is accurate. So I think we have a lot of witness about the importance of the platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Farhan. I think when it comes to this conversation about impact, first of all, our team, mostly young and passionate about agriculture, is very happy working with smallholder farmers and also learning those changes coming from the farmer side. So I'll share you 3 impact stories about what we do at Lersha. And in 2019, we were very much worried about the low adoption rate of technology when we think of providing this service to smallholder farmers. So collaboration with CIMMYT and the Alliance Biodiversity allowed us to provide this dynamic content on agroclimate advisory and recently on fertilizer recommendation. That actually helped us to improve the adoption rate from 3% to 10%. And we want to move to 21 or 25% in the coming year. And that actually helped farmers to decide on planting date, application of crop protection, harvesting, and also market information. Recently, we had a field day in Ethiopia, and we have noticed that farmers were significantly benefited from this information, not only just by receiving information, but also to follow up decision regarding input, mechanization, and also access to finance. And also in the lowlands parts of Ethiopia, in Somali region, we collaborated with Mercy Corps Ethiopia, and we have been providing services to the lowland area using our Lersha platform, especially with these youth agripreneurs. We call them Lersha agents. And we have noticed that the aggregation part was a problem. So we have developed a livestock aggregation app where our Lersha agents are supporting the livestock aggregators, and the aggregated demand is connected with off-takers and local processors. That actually helped off-takers to have a democratized access of aggregated livestock, and as well as also the aggregators are actually transacting in a bigger volume. And lastly, recently we have extended partnership with Mercy Corps AgriFin in Ethiopia, actually to improve the capacity of our digital workforce. So the Lersha agents are currently receiving innovative training on gender, financial inclusion, and recently we have noticed a significant improvement of our registered women farmer in our platform. So far we have close to 135,000 digital profile in our platform, and we have seen a significant increase of women farmers accessing agroclimate advisory and also the digital service. And we have seen a pickup of confidence by financial institutions. Once they know farmers are receiving agroclimate advisory, farmers are receiving awareness creation, we have seen an improvement in appetite to provide microloan and micro insurance. So I think these impacts at the end of the day will benefit the smallholder farmer and also improve the sustainability of the model itself.
Panina or Calvin, so if you want to share any impact that you've seen from your farmers.
Yeah, sure. We have seen a lot of impact down to our farmers, and from our internal surveys, we could clearly see that farmers are actually improving their livelihoods. But we got a confirmation last year when 60 Decibel did a survey report on our work, and it was actually a blind survey where farmers were asked questions. No mention of DigiCow. It's upon themselves to say whether they have seen an improvement, and they accredit the improvement to the organization that has helped them. And the results were amazing. 66% of the farmers who were interviewed said that they changed their farmer behavior towards the health of their livestock animals. And 57% of the farmers confirmed an increased milk production. And almost all the farmers with an increased milk production could actually confirm an increased revenue. So I think with that report, we got a confirmation that we are doing great work, but every single day we get these stories. Farmers are naming their new calves DigiCow, their new kids DigiCow Otieno, because they are seeing a lot of impact. And we are so happy and so grateful.
Amazing. Okay, so for Mshamba, the level of impact, we've seen quite some significant impact, especially when there is a change in the crop that the farmer is doing. When we secure markets for high-value crops, and then we work with these farmers to produce and replace the current low-value crops. For example, sugarcane. I don't mean to hurt any sugarcane farmer, but we've seen this in the sugarcane belt, especially in Migori and Muhoroni area, where these farmers are now doing high-value crops that take shorter time to mature, and this leads to high profitability in their farming enterprise. But also, we have also seen the ease of technology transfer. We were working with the rice farmers in Mwea, Ahero, Bunyala on new production technology. And through our platform, they were able to adopt new rice farming technologies, and they were able to even have up to about 150% yield. So the impact is real, and the fact that we offer ready market, our approach is from the market to the farm. That means that whatever the farmer is growing, they are assured of selling. But we also offer, we also introduce short-term crops or value chains. For example, what Scholar was talking about here, poultry. After 1 month, can the farmer earn something? After 3 weeks, can the farmer earn something? So that kind of approach helps us actually to bond more and see that the farmers are able to improve their livelihoods.
Thank you very much, Calvin. Kristen, are there any impacts or studies or results from studies that you would like to share?
So first, I'd like to say I'm so thrilled to hear all the results from each organization which is dealing directly with farmers. I mean, every time I hear that advisories reach farmers and it changes their lives, I think that's what we're in many ways all about. And so, and we play kind of a middle role in that ecosystem, so we don't have direct contact with the farmers themselves, but we do see that we're building a good volume of research with our farmer-facing organizations, both on what farmers have experienced and also what farmers want. And so I think that you've heard most of what you'll hear from our partners here and the farmers that were on stage. I do just want to quote one farmer that was in the field. We were testing our digital weather advisory services with Apollo Agriculture, and the farmer was a woman farmer, Nyandura. Thank you. And she basically said, you know, I get the rain information, I get the weather information, I plan myself, I'm able to decide when to plant, when to fertilize, when to go to market, and it's making a change, and I'm interested to see this more. And we see this from many of the organizations we're working with, many who are up here, that it's making an impact, and the farmers want to keep getting information like this and getting better information, and that's what I think we want to hear from everyone here today. Thank you.
Fantastic. I think it's very interesting to hear impact stories or impacts that farmers have gotten from this increased production, productivity, income, resilience, adoption rate, and so on and so forth. So that's interesting. The last set of questions will be about partnerships. For Professor Simon, with the work that you're doing, it actually requires you to engage with lots of stakeholders, private, public, and many kinds of stakeholders as well. And how do you manage those partnerships and collaborations? And following that, I would like to ask the remaining panelists as well, in terms of partnerships and key stakeholders, what should be considered, or what should be considered when you're working with different partners or stakeholders? What kind of partners do you like to work with to increase impact and sustainability as well? And how do you think that partnership can be leveraged to make sure that you're reaching the smallholder farmers that you'd like to reach? Over to you, Professor Simon, and the others.
Okay, thank you very much. So, as I said, our model is private sector led, public sector supported, okay? Now, when you think about the private sector driving an initiative, is first of all to have who is the driver of the value chain. So in Ethiopia, we have picked one export abattoir, and then the export abattoir, we request the type of interventions we'd like them to offer, because our goal is to see the pastoralists, because they're our main partner here. We want more money into the pocket of pastoralists, and the only way you can do that is, one, you shorten the value chain. I don't know how many of you knows a goat exchange hands 6 or 7 times before it reaches on your table. So, and every time it exchange hands, somebody is making a little bit of, they say they're adding value, but they're basically being blockers. Yeah? So if we shorten that by having few players along the value chain, so probably the private sector player, and then one trader or the private sector player actually does most of the backward integration, then we're able to shorten that range, and we can increase the revenue of our pastoralists up to 50%. That was amazing when you look for that model. But of course, we know this region that they work in have a lot of challenges, climate change being one of them. Another one is insecurity. So we also need to work with the government, particularly to offer security. Yeah? And the way we have envisioned working with governments, because our dream is to transform pastoralist life in the entire of Africa. We have started with the, we could call them pilot. We don't love pilots, but they're very good for academic purposes. We do a bit of impact evaluation, run something, and scale up. So we are starting with Ethiopia and Kenya. And working with governments, we thought it's better to partner with AU-IBA. I think IBA is in Inter-African Bureau of Animal Resources in the African Union. And their role is to act as a platform so that they help on policies. And they have very good pastoral policy that they came up with almost 10 years ago, how they get them implemented by governments. They're the ones who can be able to lobby with governments if we want some things to change. For example, feed security is a major challenge in pastoral regions that we need governments to invest heavily. It was mentioned in the morning about irrigation is low, and we need huge investment in those regions. So working with government and also development partners. Development partners are very important, particularly to get a coordinated investment in these regions. As we said earlier, if you look at the amount of money invested in those regions, there should be no poverty. So, but because of lack of coordinations, there are basically projects that for 5 years, people are busy selling the spare parts of the vehicles for the project, and that the people are back to poverty. So, coordinated effort of the development partners, we are trying to bring them together and try to see whether we can forge together a way forward for investment in this region. Thank you.
Thank you, Farhana. So at Sprout, I think we've found, and I think this is the theme of the conference, it takes an ecosystem, or sometimes we like to say it takes a digital village to bring together content and services and make them available for farmers. And the role that we play in that ecosystem is twofold. We work with expert organizations, so local, regional, and global organizations, just to name a few. We work with DigiCal for content, and we send content, we get content from them. We work with CGIAR, EIA, and many of the centers that EIA is helping us to work with. We work with CalRO, we work with ATI and MOA in Ethiopia. And we work with them to unleash their content and to get it and transform it so it's made available in farmer-friendly and digital-ready formats. And it's all hosted on the Sprout platform. Any one of you can go there, any of you can search it, and any of you can download and use it because it's all Creative Commons. And it's all documented. And we believe that there's a huge power with the existing and amazing innovations and technologies that are already out there. We're saying there are too many pilots. We want to be that partner that helps get that information out, scale it out to farmers. But we don't work with farmers directly. And so we work with farmer-facing organizations, like many of those many of you in the audience and many of those that you've heard from today. They have the trust of the farmer. No one knows who Sprout is. And really, we don't care. We want the farmers to get information from organizations they trust. But we want that information to be trustworthy. And so we look at our farmer-facing organizations that we work with to tell us what they need and what services they need and what content they need. And so we've got an ecosystem. We've got about 30 content and service, Tomorrow Now, don't let me forget Tomorrow Now, content and service partners. And we've got we just hit 100 farmer-facing organizations that we're working across 7 countries who reach collectively millions of farmers across the continent. And so we're looking for more partners in all of those areas. And specifically, we're looking for more partners to create customized services. We're already creating customized services that farmer-facing organizations can use, where they can get 7-day weather forecasts that are hyper-local based on the farmer or the farmer group location. And so they can get information right up for their farm. We're also working with EIA to do the very same with seasonal forecasts in Nigeria. And we're testing it out to see if we can roll it out. But what if we could do that with soil health? What if we could do that with fertilizer recommendations? What if we can work with farmer-facing organizations to get enough information that we can give their farmers fertilization for Irish potato in Nigeria and in Kenya for their exact location to improve their soil health and outcomes? That's what we're looking for now, and that's where we're going. And I think that that's where the revolution is, to quote Manla, is soon we're going to have a lot of these services available, and we can build them. We can do that as a group here. And so as soon as we have those, and they can be reached on demand by the farmer-facing organizations and the farmers, I think the revolution begins. So it's with us. Thank you.
From our side, in our situation, the government engagement is heavy. I mean, the public sector engagement is heavy, but we have seen a lot of collaboration among different actors, from development partners, from the private sector, from the government itself. Maybe as I indicated before, when we implement the digital advisory service, A220, Farmer Hotline, National Market Information System, all others, all contributed a lot in developing a system, in structuring the content, in introducing to the farmers. All actors have engaged, but more recent, around 2017, I remember Mexico's AgriFin did a very good assessment of ecosystem, digital ecosystem in agriculture sector, and that helped us a lot just to engage more actors in the area, and digital Ethiopia strategy, and now recently digital agriculture extension and advisory service roadmap put a clear roadmap for all actors for their engagement, including private sectors. And now with these 30 interventions, now we have a clarity for increasing the engagement of other private sectors and development partners in the provision of advisory service in other digital agriculture service. Thank you.
So on our end, seeing as we're a farmer-facing organization, when we envision partners like Sprout. And Kristen, I don't say this enough, but thank you. Our farmers are so grateful for the information that we send to them from Sprout. So like I said, partners like Sprouts. The government, working with the government is also very beneficial to us because it also helps in terms of scale, in terms of building trust in these communities as well. And I want to say that we should work together more because, I mean, our reach is only as far as our capacity. And as Mandla has said, collaboration is important. If we're able to work together, we're able to reach more people, we're able to provide people with more embedded solutions. So if we all work together, the private sector, the farmer-facing organizations, the content producers like Sprout, organizations like Mercy Corps, if we all come together, our farmers will benefit in leaps and bounds.
Thank you. I think as a private sector in Ethiopia, the agriculture system is more dominated by public engagement. But recently we have seen a change that private sector are given a chance actually to contribute. One was actually from FAO, the Digital Extension Advisory Roadmap. The role of LERSHA in that development was very significant. So we were given a chance to contribute and to reflect also how private sector can be in that process. So this is a demonstration of partnership. And as LERSHA, we create partnership with different institutions, but we ask that significant question of why do we partner? Do we partner to stay in the market, to grow, to scale, or to legalize our innovation? Because as a private sector, we don't need to invest equally in all partnership. The purpose of the partnership should be very clear. For example, with public sector, we have reached that big milestone with ATI to register close to over 1 million farmers in 3 years' time. This registration of a farmer is beyond creating a digital profile. Because in the last 4 years, we actually have invested a lot to create a digital profile of 135,000 farmers. Other private sector coming to this sector, they shouldn't invest the same. They shouldn't access this data so that they have to focus on the innovation. But the partnership is not only about registering farmer, but also to provide other services as well. Last year, we have attended AgriFin, and I remember we started this conversation with Telebr in Ethiopia. So we also partner with commercial partners. So since then, we have completed this integration with Telebr, where we register a farmer now in Ethiopia. We also open a mobile wallet account and a digital wallet also for Telebr. This will open a new window for financial inclusion. And this was possible only through partnership. And lastly, also, with AgriFin, this partnership to have, a lens on gender and financial inclusion is also very important. So this learning that implementation alliances like AgriFin gather across the world definitely will help a private sector to deliver a valuable service to smallholder farmer. And I think partnership has a very irreplaceable role for private sector in providing value.
I think a lot has been said about partnership, and I do not wish to add more. But from experience, partnership is very critical. If you look at the case of DigiCow, we are expert in innovation of commercial mobile technologies, but we also invite the other partners who are working with the farmers. When I say that 66% of farmers changed their farmer behavior towards their animal health, we do not provide warmers, we do not provide mineral salts, we do not provide the things that the cows need. But we work with partners who have the expertise to do research and provide the best for these farmers. We also work with the government, and the government enables us to have a lot of trust with our farmers. We are also able to influence some policies that are actually creating some bottlenecks when we are working with the farmers. And we work a lot with development partners who are actually critical when it comes to changing farmer perception. They have the support and the funds to enable us to do this. We work a lot with people who have information, like Sprout. We also have the manufacturers. They have a lot of information regarding their products. They are the best placed person to describe their product and to tell the farmer how to use this product for the best results. And so we invite multiple stakeholders to work with us. But our key partner is the farmer. We normally say, before anything, there was the farmer and DigiCow.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so in the same breath, we also work with several partners. We have about 24 counties that we work with as in a public partnership, public-private partnership arrangement through the 1 Million Farmer Platform powered by the World Bank. Our partnership with Masiko AgriFin enabled us to reach over 22,000 farmers in 1 year. Our partnership with Sprout helps us to access content for dissemination to the farmers, either through voice or through SMS. And also, we also work with our other private players through bundling of services. We can't offer everything to the farmer. But the needs of the farmer is quite diverse. They need finance, they need input, they need renewable energy solutions. And so through the partnership that we've established with some of these service providers have helped us actually do this. So for us, as M-Shamba, we only provide the platform. That is our main, that is what we offer on the table. The other partners offer value to this platform through the various services that they provide. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a very valuable and a very interesting thing to hear in terms of partnerships as well. And I've been told that we're at time now. So if there are any questions for the panelists, please feel free to catch them during lunch break or marketplace, or they'll be around hopefully for these 2 days to for you guys to communicate, ask questions, and learn more if you want. I would like to thank all the panelists for giving us their valuable insights and answering all the questions. Thank you very much. And I would like to hand over to Ilyas.